everybody.
Won't there be a reverb?
Are we on?
We're on, guys.
We're on.
Oh, we're live.
We're live.
We're really live.
This is it.
Drasko,
Hugo,
doing it live.
we're doing it live. Just like the meme.
We're doing it live.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Good to be here. Happy Thursday.
Yeah. Welcome to the new and improved live for your listening and viewing pleasure segments, features, episodes of the huge podcast.
Yeah,
Now 100% live, unscripted, uncensored,
that's correct.
unfiltered.
So all the awkward pauses, all the touchy subjects,
Yep.
everything's going in.
Yep.
But with that comes an advantage. No more delays.
No, none. It's going to be released on the day that it's recorded. And
Well, that's not true, Drasko.
Oh,
There's still going to be a slight delay.
Yeah.
And if you watch it on Twitch,
we are 6
hey,
minutes
we just got our
behind.
first follower.
Hey, welcome,
Welcome,
follower.
Chimumu.
Chimumu.
Thanks for joining us. Chamumu.
Chamumu. Chamumu.
So that's another advantage. is we'll be able-
Look forward to your follower subscription gift coming to you exclusively. And our first 100 followers will get a very special gift.
I don't think that's how it works.
No.
I think
Don't promise that.
We'll get something. We'll get something for you guys. Our undying love and appreciation. See, and that is tax free. It's true.
That's true.
It's true.
But yeah, people will be able to join in live.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was saying is the delay is for YouTube. So YouTube, it'll still be released 1 to 2 days later. But if you want to see us live, then you got to come join us on Twitch.
Yes.
And then followers are going to have, subscribers are going to have their own perks.
Mm-hmm.
That's in due time.
Yeah.
Right now, the exciting thing is no more weeks-long, months-long delays in episodes being recorded to being put up. A maximum of 2 days, because it's all happening live.
That's it.
Producer Emily had to learn how to switch and do a bunch of other things, but
The
she's
learning
she's
experience for everyone.
I'm really excited about being able to tune in. Eventually, we'll have a tablet or something here with the chat, so we can actually see people, or maybe it'll come up here or something, so we can see what the people are saying, what they're requesting. If they're like, "Hey, check out this clip," or whatever, listen to the song, or have you heard about this topic? It'll be a lot more engaging. We'll have the community engagement live, which I think is going to be really cool.
I believe it. And
Plus,
I'm looking forward to it.
The opportunity to make those bit money, the
The Bitcoins?
the cheer money.
Oh, yeah, the cheers. Those Twitch cheers, which will get us, I don't know, what do they get you?
I don't know, a couple of cents here and there,
That's fine.
depending on how much they donate.
That's cool.
But then there's ad revenue, so when we go on break, there'll be ads, but we have to get a few followers first.
But
49 more followers.
Look forward to all these amazing ads from Kia and Honda and your local bank.
Yeah, that's the only downside is we won't be able to do any of those fun. Well, we'd have to do them ahead of time. We could do it, but we'd have to do them ahead of time.
Yeah. We still have our cool sponsors.
Yeah, the cool sponsors. We'll get the cool sponsors
Yep.
in still
Yep.
for during the break.
Definitely.
But yeah, how have you been?
I've been good, man. Planning our trip, me and the partner, planning our trip to the Philippines.
Sounds hot.
It's gonna be hot. They're going through a heat wave down there, and it's
Why are you
gonna be
doing
hot. Why do I travel to foreign lands to get?
That makes it sound way more exotic. I was just asking, why do you go to uncomfortably hot and humid lands?
Well, my partner's family is from there, and excited to see them again. They're very nice and sweet people. And also, speaking of nice and sweet, they have the nicest, sweetest fruits called mangoes right off the trees, and they're amazing and delicious. And I'm looking forward to them more than anything. And the food there is amazing too. Just going on food tourism is just something I always want to do. But I'm just always, lazy, and you have to fucking travel to these different countries.
Yeah, it's a lot of work just to eat food. Well, we have
Just eat.
pretty much food from every country here too. Just not the best of it, but
No.
we got a sampling
Yeah.
of every country's food here.
Yeah.
A smorgasbord, if you will.
Smorgasbord of Philippine cuisine, you know, American cuisine, Japanese. We had a lot of Japanese cuisine.
We went to a sushi restaurant. All you can
No,
eat.
that's such a lie, Drasko.
You
You don't eat sushi.
You weren't there. You didn't see me eating sushi. I had a whole fucking yam roll just to myself.
That's a lot of yam. Yammy bastard.
Yammy bastard.
Why?
Because I like the vegetarian rolls. They're nice.
They are nice. The avocado ones are nice. But why all you can eat?
Why all you can eat? I thought we were going to an actual just like, sit down and you order certain amounts of like sushi restaurant. Then when we sat down, they're like, "Are you here for the all you can eat?" And Grace is like, "Yes, we are." I'm like, "I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. I thought we were going to just an a la carte restaurant, but it was all you can eat." And we fucking stuffed ourselves silly, which you do at all you can eat restaurants.
I believe you have to.
Yeah. Otherwise, they charge you for whatever you don't eat, which I never understood. We went to another buffet like a few months ago. This is just with some coworkers. And they also had the thing where they charge you, per plate that you don't finish. And one of my coworkers was like, "So what do you guys charge? And like, what's the criteria for, can I leave like a chicken wing on there, or do you charge me for the whole wing, or like how does it work?" And they're like, usually if it's like more than half a plate, then they charge you a set amount for that plate, no matter what's on it. But if it's less than half, then they don't fucking bother. So whenever they say we charge you for anything else, I'm pretty sure there's a criteria. So if you leave 2 edamame peas on your fucking plate, they're not gonna come at you with like an extra $15 bill. "Here you go, please."
I thought they always would.
No, I don't think that they charge you like per piece. They would just charge you if there's like more than a certain amount. Because like, what if it's something that you can't eat? What if it's like something you start eating? It's like, "Oh, this is too spicy. I can't fucking eat it." You're gonna charge me for that?
I mean, that's the idea.
Who makes these rules?
They do. Who business owners?
I don't know. I think you're giving them
To
too
stop
much power.
people from gluttonously ordering more than than they can. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach when you go in hungry.
Yeah, that's
especially
true.
when you go with the idea of binging,
Gaming the system,
which we've
gaming
covered.
the buffet.
How to beat the system.
Yeah, which
So-
we've learned you cannot game the buffet game. They've already outgamed you. You walked in, you paid your $40.
Just
You've
accept
been
it.
played.
Just accept it.
You can't win.
Take what you went for,
Yeah.
and nothing more. Because
Get your 3 plates, get your dessert, and
No way around
just
it.
go. Just be happy.
sushi buffets are my least favorite, man.
No.
Because
Let's have it.
they're. I thought that was you scratching at the table. But I know that's just evil.
That's the ghost in the room.
It's just the worst of the buffet foods. Like an Indian buffet, like the curries, the masalas, the rices, they're all still quite good. Mandarin has amazing food. International cuisine, that's really good from everywhere. I would say Mandarin sushi is better than all-you-can-eat sushi. That's how bad
Really?
all-you-can-eat sushi at most all-you-can-eat sushi restaurants is.
Wow,
The
that's
rice is dry, flavorless. The fish is dry and flavorless. Like, it's just the blandest tunas you can find. They just stick it in there.
That's a bold statement, Hugo.
I don't like it.
Really? Because I think Mandarin cuisine in general is some of the most bland. Like their fucking roast beef
How
is
can it be
terrible.
bland?
Their
Do you know how much
potatoes are
MSG 's
fucking
in
from. Just because it has MSG doesn't mean it's got fucking flavor to it.
I'm pretty sure that's what MSG stands for. More savory goodness.
Well, that may be so, but I think that Mandarin has just got bland food all around.
What the? Get out of here, bro.
No, I'm serious.
You're just saying
there,
that
no, there are
to be an anti-Hugo.
Look, all right, all right, fine. Yeah, all right. I'll play the devil's advocate here. But no, like, Mandarin's not the best. I've been there before, and their food isn't that tasty. Like, they
What
got a
is the
few
best?
tasty.
What's the best buffet then?
The best buffet, I gotta say it's either Indian buffet, because that shit is
so
delicious. It is limited. There's only so many things at an Indian buffet that you can get.
But it is good.
But in terms of Asian buffet, there is this one place called Dragon Pearl. It's where not Etobicoke. What's the other one? Scarborough. It's over in Scarborough, and it's pretty fucking delicious. The one time I did go there, they actually had roast rack of lamb, and it was just like lamb chops, and they cook them right there in front of you. So they're not sitting on a tray for like 2 hours before you come and get one. They only cook so many, and then they don't start cooking the next batch until the ones that are there are gone. So it's a very limited run that they have, and then people are just lining up to get a few of them.
Okay.
But that one,
Pearl of Dragons?
Pearl of Wonderful Dragons. The seating is very nice. It's
North York. Chamumu has said.
North York.
You haven't been to a good sushi place, Hugo. That's why.
Oh,
North York, man. You got to go. Okay. All right, Chamumu. Thanks for that.
Thank you, Chamumu.
Chamumu.
Yeah.
Okay, I realize now that that's not Chamumu. It's Chamumu, but it was hard to tell at first. Okay, yeah, it's a cool cat, not a cool cow.
But that is the Dragon Pearl is one of the best all-you-can-eat places that I've been to. There's another one that's kind of like Mandarin. It's called Walk of Fame, and the only reason why I would go to this one is
Let me guess.
What?
Walk is W-O-K?
Yes. No, it's not the Walk of Fame. They don't. Sorry, you can't sit here, sir. You got to take your food and you just got to keep fucking walking. Stop walking. We serve you your bill.
I mean, as a buffet, I'd kind of get it. Like after the end, you do the Walk of Fame. Mm-hmm. Wow, you did it!
Congratulations.
You had 4 plates.
Good job. Good job.
You beat the system.
Yeah. But this place was good because unlike all other all-you-can-eat buffets, they have free unlimited drinks included in the price.
What the?
Yeah.
How are they making money?
I don't know. But they got like 6 soda machines all over the place. So for you soda junkies who just want like constant refills without having to pay, Walk of Fame is your place.
Wow. So this podcast episode sponsored by Walk of Fame.
Walk of Fame.
Walk of Flame.
They also have a custom pad thai station. So you choose your own like ingredients. They have a bunch of like raw ingredients. They have a bunch of meats and seafoods, and then they have a bunch of vegetables. You choose your own noodles, and then you choose your own sauces, and then you just give it to the guy, and he just like tosses it up and like puts it in a wok and grills it up, and then bam, there you go. It's all fresh right there. That's like the only 2 reasons to go there, though. The rest of the food is just fucking bland as shit, as bland as goddamn Mandarin. Yeah. So sorry, Hugo. I think your choice in buffet just you just haven't broadened your horizons on buffets.
No, man, I'm telling you, there's still no good all-you-can-eat sushi. And I mean, maybe I'm open-minded enough to potentially find one that is worth the money and good. Actually, it's not even being worth the money because I'm not saying they're not worth the money. It's just what you're going for. It's just that I'd rather go, especially with sushi, have some good sushi for often the same amount of money. Maybe a little less in quantity, but you're having like much better tasting fish and rice, and everything's well crafted. And there's more creativity too in the sushi restaurants when it isn't all you can eat. The rules will be different. It's not just your standards fare. And so for those reasons, when it comes to sushi, I'd rather just go to a sushi restaurant.
Yeah, you got a point there.
I mean, buffets in general are.
It's more of a family group thing. That's the way I've always seen buffets.
Yeah, you're never just gonna go there like on a date.
You think so, huh? There are some times.
I mean, but it'll be like one of those. It's fun. It's a fun date more than I would say like it's never going to be a romantic date.
Yeah. You're guaranteed to go to both be leaving there like fighting for your goddamn life because you're so fucking full.
Yeah, you're not doing anything after.
No, you're barely driving home.
You're going straight home. Yeah, maybe watch a movie in a theater.
Maybe go for a walk, like around the
Speaking
neighborhood.
of movies in theaters, just today I found out Peter Jackson is doing another set of Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh, Peter, just stop.
I don't know what they're going to be based off of.
What are they paying him? Because he was fucking miserable after he finished the Hobbit trilogy. He hated his time there.
Yeah.
He actually wanted to quit. Like, he wasn't supposed to do it. It was supposed to be Guillermo del Toro. He was supposed to do The Hobbit.
Yeah.
But then there was, like, issues with it, and then they had to drag back Jackson. He was like, I don't want to do this. I'm so burned out on Lord of the Rings. I gave my all to that fucking shit.
I don't really know. Well, because I think he wanted to do Hobbit, though, but then in some way. I don't know the full story.
I think he was just attached to, like, kind of, not direct, but just kind of, like, you know, advise on certain things.
And I think that's why Guillermo ended up not wanting to do it. I think he backed out because he was still having a lot of input from Peter Jackson. But I don't know. I don't know the full story. And I don't want to speak incorrectly.
No.
But I think maybe the producer situation is just all fixed for these next ones.
All right.
You know?
So what's the new Lord of the Rings? Because, they still got those Rings of Power. That's still going on in the background.
He's not tied to that at all. So it's the Rings of Power is just set in Middle Earth. Well, I think Lord of the Rings is going to be that actual Lord of the Rings story from the but I don't know how, because he covered the beginning to end of the plot.
He covered the Hobbit. He covered the end.
And he did the Hobbit.
By the end of the Lord of the Rings, they just sail off to the Western lands. They go with the elves, and then there's peace. It's
sad.
The evil is destroyed, and what's left?
Spoiler alert!
Oh shit! Sorry, guys. There are still some bad guys remaining. That's it.
Emily, are you able to pull up on the browser just Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson, 2026?
Pull that shit up.
Pull it up. Let's see what happens.
Because I'm wondering, is this going to be another prequel? Because I think that's the only place where they can do it.
What was the date?
2026.
Yeah, that's what I would think too. But
Full movie. It's already released. Working on a new Lord of the Rings film due in 2026. The Hunt for Gollum will be directed by
Oh, it's The Hunt for Gollum. Okay.
Okay, so I guess it's taking place while they're looking for Gollum.
Oh, it's Andy Serkis is co-directing it?
Yeah.
Wait, will be directed by and star. Oh, and produced by Jackson. Oh, come on. That's not the same thing.
Maybe Serkis has some take on it, because he's trying to get a bit more involved in the Lord of the Rings world. He just did an audiobook for all three Lord of the Rings books, and he provided the main voiceover for it.
Oh, interesting.
So I think he's trying to get back into the Lord of the Rings universe.
Never thought he was that much of a fan.
I guess he is, or just that's probably the role that made him more famous. And now he's just trying to, continue the hype.
Yeah, I don't think he's done anything. He's done a lot, though, but I don't think he's done anything that's made him more famous than Lord of the Rings.
No, I don't think so. He was Toad in the first X-Men movie.
What
That's all I remember him from.
Other than that?
Yeah, other than Gollum in Lord of the Rings.
Did he do the motion capture for King Kong?
I think he might have.
Because King Kong was Peter Jackson's, I think, next big movie after Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that was right after Lord of the Rings.
Naomi Watts, and then
Naomi Watts.
and then he was also in Tintin. He was the Captain Haddock.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Circus.
Because he does some voiceover work as well.
Yeah.
So I guess that's his next thing.
What else has he been on? Who cares? Anyway, he's doing this now. I really read that he was going to direct it too. I'm not as excited now knowing that Peter Jackson isn't going to direct.
No.
He's got his millions. He made a bunch of money selling Weta Workshop, the production company that he started. And
Oh, really?
yeah, and I don't know if he sold it all off. I think he did, but he's just loaded and he's like, why direct movies? Directing movies hurts, because people are going to criticize them and it hurts my feelings.
He probably got.
If I'm just a producer. I'm kind of detached from it. If it fails, well, it wasn't me that directed it. I just produced it.
I think he got jaded after The Hobbit. It probably just he fell out of love, because it could see it. It's a point where the studio puts you in a position where they pretty much force you to make this thing, and I kind of feel like he's got the same treatment as what's his name, Martin did from the what's it called, the Game of Thrones.
Oh, George R.
Yeah, George R. R. Martin, because now he's just they took my baby and they warped it into this thing and they just rushed the fuck out of it at the end. Mm-hmm. And now who knows if he'll ever release the last movie or book.
That's the most tragic media story of this century.
Yeah,
this whole century.
It started off great and then it just turned into a big pile of shit.
So good. I mean, it was a complete phenomenon. The likes of which were only repeated by Breaking Bad, maybe Lost, I'd put up there. Mm-hmm. What else has been that big that literally everybody was watching?
X-Files. I'm a little
That's
biased
from the previous
on that.
century, though.
I mean, it was pretty huge in the 90s.
Yeah, but I don't know anything from that century. I'm way too young for that.
Okay.
I only know things from 2000 onwards.
Oh, yeah.
I was born in 2000-ish.
As soon as the internet came to Hugo's house, he fucking switched on.
I was born in an AOL disk. My parents had to download me and extract me, and it was a whole thing.
Anything manual before then just wasn't worth it.
I had a huge day one patch update and everything. Man, it was bad. This baby's an idiot. We need to fix it.
That's fine, Hugo.
But yeah, no, it was horrible. I was actually really upset with that with Game of Thrones. Let's relive that misery.
Did you watch The Rings of Power?
Yeah, but
No, sorry, not The Rings of Power.
Thrones of Power.
Yeah, the throne. Oh fuck, what's it called? The Dance of Dragons, the Blood of Dragons,
Dancing with Wolves,
Fire of Blood. What's the fucking Game of Thrones spin-off show called?
Dark Roses.
I think it's House of Dragons.
Thank you,
That's it.
The House of Dragons. Fuck's sake. Did you watch that one?
I did.
What did you think of that one? Because they got the new season coming up soon. They've already got trailers for it.
I have some criticisms, but like,
Oh, really? You do now? Why don't you tell me what your criticisms are?
Well, let me start first with the things that I like, because otherwise I'm just a
Spoiler alert! If you're watching and you haven't watched, just pause the stream now, go watch the show, and then come back. All right, you're back? Good. All right, now continue.
It's been paused for like 3 weeks.
It's fine, all right?
I think, the stuff you'd expect to be good was good. The acting, the set design, all the cinematography, the overall plot and like how serious it is was really cool. But I think what I didn't like was that there wasn't any humor at all. And so because of that, it kind of feels monotone. There was never any things that we were used to, like Tyrion's humor, you know, or the spider's humor, even Littlefinger's humor, or the dog's humor. There's so much humor in the original series. And I think it's contrast, right? Like the reason humor, in my opinion, is so important in stories is because it adds this sort of heart rate that goes up. And when it's, it's from the highs that, it's the highs that distinguish the lows. And it's from the lows that, you kind of get these peaks and valleys in terms of like emotion and that's missing, I think, in the Dancing with Wolves show. Rings of Roses, Ring Around the
Rings
Rose.
of Dragons.
Yeah.
Ring around the dragon.
But overall, I still loved it, and I can't wait to see the new season.
Okay.
So I'm not trash talking it. I would still give it like a good 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Wow, that's a high score.
Yeah, it's still really good, and I think it's only going to get better. It was only the first season, but that's the thing. Game of Thrones, the original series, the first season was pretty good.
Yeah, it started off
really
with a
good
bang.
Yeah, and but I would say that like season 2 and 3 was even better.
Yeah,
it did get even better. So let's give it a chance.
Okay, what did you think about the time jumps?
Yeah,
Between like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, 6 years later.
yeah, and then did they even ever go back
To what?
to them young? No, they didn't. But
No.
like, yeah, that was. I remember reading that one. Some people were like upset that they never went back to the younger characters after they'd gotten to like them. It's like, oh, we got to like the young characters of these characters, and that's it. They're done. Like,
Yeah.
they're old now. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense though, right? They have to progress a story. They had to start when they were young.
They do have to progress the story, but I think when they did that, they sacrificed a lot of that character development. That's in these interim years, that's where you see these characters kind of interact with each other and grow into the characters that they become later. And those are the moments where they can have those, humorous little one-off adventures or like little interactions with each other that are funny. That's something that just bothered the hell out of me when I first saw it. I was like, wait, wasn't this guy just like a baby before? Or like how long has it, his baby is now like what, 6 years old? I was like, and then it's like, I was so fucking taken aback that they did it once. And it was so fucking jarring that they did it fucking twice. That to me was just like, holy shit. For the rest of the season, I'm just like, are they going to do it a third time? That's all I was thinking about. That to me, I didn't really enjoy. Because it just felt like such a quick jump to go from the way that a character behaves at one age to like, okay, 8 years later. And now they're just like, they're a little bit harder. They're a little bit, firmer. They're a bit more jaded about things. Or like, oh, all of a sudden we're in love. And it's like, I couldn't really get into it too well. I mean, like you said, there was good set design. There was great, little set pieces that they went along with it too. I just didn't feel like there was like a threat, like any kind of external threat either. It was all just like inside, kind of infighting between the family. And that part kind of turned me off a little bit. I wanted to see like a threat that they could kind of like all kind of unite against. In the first part, they had that like little crab man that they were like fighting. And I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be a thing. There's probably going to be some kind of army, like an army of crabmen, and they're going to come and they're going to be a threat, and like they all have to kind of like band together as a family, and like, but no, like episode 3, Crabman's done.
Yeah.
True. That's it. Okay, fuck. And like the guy who kills him, he's like, oh yeah, he's the hardest motherfucker ever. Like just, he's so tough. Yeah, he took arrows. It doesn't matter. He's so fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's like little character writing that like they just want to rush to the point of like, okay, but we need to get to the point where they don't like each other. So just cut a few years. It's fine. Just go.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how much story there is for them to need to do that. Maybe there's a lot. I haven't read that book that it's based off of.
Neither have I. But that's something that I found a bit jarring. I hope now that they're at the point where they're like, okay, this is where the plot is kicking off, where they're going to be like, this is the main tension between the families. I hope they can stick to it, and now we can get like to understand, you know, the one-eyed son, you know, why he's such a fucking prick. You know, 'cause it just went from like, yeah, I took your mom's dragon. What? Do something about it. And now he's just like, and now he's like an asshole prick, and like dragon comes and like bite, fucking chomp. But the kid could still be alive. You don't know.
You don't know for sure. Emily, do you have any thoughts in general?
I don't know.
Dragons of Power.
I don't know. It was good. We actually have the book, so I'm kind of curious to read it and see.
We have the primary source right here.
Yeah. Yeah, we found it in the like giveaway pile in our building. So I'm not encouraged that it's great.
Someone probably was like, yeah, I saw the show. It doesn't matter. We don't need the book anymore. Honey, do we need the book? No, we saw the show. It's fine. Okay, just put it away. But yeah. But I am excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see what happens in the next season. It was a pretty like decent watch.
Yeah, it was. There's nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
What about? Did you watch The Lord of the Rings? How did you feel about that? In comparison,
not thrilled because I saw. Okay, so I knew by the end that the guy was Sauron and not.
Whoa! Spoiler alert, dude!
Oh my god!
At least Lord of the Rings was like 20 years old. This is like fresh.
The Rings of Power.
Yeah,
you've seen it.
I've seen it.
Okay, but
Emily. Our viewers probably. Jamumo
yeah,
probably
I've seen it,
has
but
it.
we're not just chilling here. We're streaming.
Jeez, man, okay. Look at that. Jane Shepard, 2024. Thank you for joining the chat and letting Drasko know what a screw up he is.
Okay.
We're gonna lose people like this, Drasko. This is how.
This is the danger that you get when you walk into a discussion about a TV show. All right, you are doing yourself.
They didn't even know. They just clicked.
I'm sorry, but you're doing yourself a disservice by not being caught up on the latest trends and TV shows. You don't know what people are going to be talking about.
There's so much TV out there. You can't expect people to have watched everything.
You figure it out, okay?
Oh my God.
There's so many streaming services out there. All right, figure something out, okay? It's your responsibility to get caught up on this. It's not my fault that you don't do the prerequisite reading before class, okay?
Look, I am telling you, they didn't know. We didn't specify we're going to be talking about these shows. We're just doing it.
We're not a TV podcast, man.
Okay, I'll keep the spoilers to a minimum.
Just announce them first.
Okay, so I knew that by the end of the show that a certain character was going to be
that
revealed.
One's fine. You already revealed that.
Okay, well, I knew who it was, all right? And I knew what was going to happen.
I didn't.
So I watched like, 2 episodes, got into episode 3, and then I just stopped. Because the character who they reveal at the end, when I knew who he was, and then I'm just like watching the other episodes and I'm like, okay, why is he doing this? If he's this guy, why the fuck is he doing this? Like, what's the point? Like, that's something I didn't like. Why are they writing? Because it was only written that way in the beginning just to tease for you as a viewer to watch and be like, intrigued by it. But seeing him as the character he actually is, it makes no sense about, why he's behaving this way. Why are you starting a fight with these guys? Why don't you just fucking kill them and turn them into ash or something? And why is you being here necessary. Like, this isn't a part of your main goal at the end. Your main goal at the end is to do, this. Why are you doing this? It makes no fucking sense. That's what I didn't like about it. That's what took me out.
Imagine you have to watch the rest of it.
Yeah, it's not fair if you haven't watched all of it. I don't know if I was more entertained with Thing than other Thing. No, I'm not trying to spoil anything.
Okay, because I haven't seen the majority of the show. Like, I've heard what happens.
Your opinion is invalid.
Oh, wow.
You can't even talk, dude.
The chat's saying you're salty.
I am
so salty.
I am salty.
Right.
I am salty. I
just
watched
a salty
the show.
Little, just because
I'm sorry that I can't appreciate bad writing. All right, there. I fucking said it.
I think that's what a salty person would say, because they don't realize how salty they are. Because you don't know what being sweet is like.
Oh, Hugo. That cuts when you say it, man.
Does it burn
like salt in an open
salt?
wound? Either way, I still didn't enjoy that writing when they wrote it that way. Just going back towards it, like, okay, so say I didn't know what was going to happen at the end. By the end, if I get to it and I figure out, oh, okay, he's this guy, and then I start thinking, wait, but why did you do this? And it was like, what, just to fill in time for those episodes?
But there was more to the show than just that plot point.
There was.
That's really, all that is just a cliffhanger for the second season. It's not that significant. My problem with it was more in the lines of, you have one of the biggest production budgets ever made for TV. Because I think at the time, it was even higher than Game of Thrones production, which was like record setting.
Well, would they have like $100 million for the show or something?
I think it was more than that. It was like 400 million or 500 million to do the whole show, which is crazy, right? That's like 2 Marvel movies. But granted, it's like 10 hours of TV, but it's TV.
Yeah.
And with all that money, the costumes, dude, the hair was so bad. It was so uninspired. It's like they went to your old like Hamlet and like Shakespeare theater props in high schools, or like your local theater, and they just took that and like strapped it onto the actors and like, all right, go. It was just,
you could like see the wig lines on their sideburns and stuff.
And the hair, it was just, there was like no texture to it. It was like really simply done, and the costumes were also really simply done. Sorry to cut you off, Emily.
You're okay. You're okay.
You go ahead now.
That was it. Bad wigs.
Bad wigs. You can tell.
Like, I know it doesn't make that big of a difference to the story, and it really doesn't even affect the acting, but it takes me out of it. And it's like, as somebody that's, really in tune with the industry, it's nearly unforgivable when you have that much money and you're getting a hair and makeup department and a wardrobe department
on a budget
that like just sucks. Just plain, like, come on.
No, that's a valid point. It's all part of the immersion. You're watching these shows to forget about the bullshit in everyday world. You're watching these shows to be entertained. And if there is something in there that takes you out of it, like, why the fuck does it look this way? Why does that look like a spray-on toupee? You can tell, and it affects your enjoyment on things.
Yeah.
It happens to everything. It happens even to video games. People always complain about immersion. I was just like, why is it done this way? It takes me out of the fucking game. And like, as soon as you notice, like, if you notice that what you're watching is actually a TV show, then at some point it's not an entertaining TV show. It's supposed to be like kind of drawn into this world. You want to stay in it for all the grittiness.
Yeah, exactly.
Grime.
And again, that would be forgivable in like an independent or lower budget film or TV show. It's like, all right, that's fine. I can suspend my.
They're doing their darndest. Yeah. They're doing their best.
But in a show with a budget like that, I can't forgive it. And especially, I don't know, being a fan of the world, like, I expected those kinds of things to have been taken care of with as much level of detail and attention to the details, right? As the original Lord of the Rings were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
How is it that all these years later you're going to have less effort into the design of these things than the movie, when you have a way bigger budget?
Well, I think the people who worked on the original Lord of the Rings, like, they had a lot of time, and they were also doing like a lot of things with like miniatures, and with that you hire people who
had a lot of time, but They had a pretty tight, like they did they shot all 3 movies
at one point.
back to back.
Yeah.
Which is already crazy, but I don't think they had any more time than other people. But maybe, like they did work, I think, for a couple of years before that shooting on all the wardrobe stuff and the weapons and whatnot.
I mean, it does look great. And
It
a lot of it,
looks so
a lot of
good.
it
Even
was
now
also
it looks so
practical
good.
offense. Practical
I'm
effects.
practically offended too.
Yes, you should be literally offended.
No, just practically.
Okay, well that's fine too.
It's like almost literally offended.
Yeah, but no, that's fair. Like I'm glad we both agree that the Rings of Power is the inferior magical mystery show.
Yeah, but I would say it's only slightly inferior.
Oh, what is this one? A 7.4 out of 10 compared to your 7.5?
No, I would say it's like 2, 7, 6. I would put it at I really want to say a 7.
Wow.
It's still really
Damn,
good.
Hugo.
And it's Lord of the Rings, so I'm biased. So it gets like an extra point just for being Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
In a battle between Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, I'm choosing Lord of the Rings. I know all the adults are going to choose Game of Thrones because it's got way more adult themes. It's got booze and like swearing and sex and everything, right? And I get that. I get the appeal behind that. But I think the world building and I'm way more attached to the story of Lord of the Rings. Like those 3 books, especially. Like it's just such a good story.
Did you hear how the son hates what's going on with the series with the Lord of the Rings now?
No.
J.R.R. Tolkien's son.
Why?
He hates what they're turning it into, like more of an action, more of like an action genre than like fantasy and friendship and fellowship and good versus evil.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was written in like the 40s.
It was written in a completely different
Like, it's-
time.
And the books are
Different
like,
audience now.
Yeah. So they're trying to, touch it up a little bit, make it a bit more palatable to people nowadays.
Which means making it more serious. Like I'm sorry, J.R. Tolkien's son.
Jimmy Tolkien.
JTTT. It's just, like Emily said, it's a different audience today. And making these TV shows, there's stiff competition for screen time. Like right now, just competition for our podcast over another podcast, I'm sure.
But we're glad you're here today.
Yeah, for those that came in today, we're just about to go on a small break, very short break. But for those that came in today and followed and dropped some lines in the chat, that honestly helps a lot for the algorithms and whatnot. So we really appreciate that. And it's been great being able to actually have live engagement from the people.
Yes.
Mostly there was people pissed off at you, but I'm about it.
That's fine. It's positive engagement as far as I'm concerned.
All engagement.
It's unedited, people, uncensored and fully salted.
Yeah.
We would have taken you out if we were editing that.
No. It's all staying in, baby.
It's unfiltered Drasko, straight from the tap.
But yeah. All right. We taking a break, or you still got a few minutes?
I have a few minutes.
You got a few minutes?
I just want to get a quick drink.
Oh, okay. Well, then
you guys can keep talking. That's why we don't even have to go on break.
Oh, okay.
I'll go make the drinks. You guys keep talking.
All right.
Just don't switch to me while I'm leaving the cameras.
That's fine. We'll just cut you out entirely.
Yeah, that's why we don't even have to go to break. See how committed we are? We're skipping our union-provided break. Well, actually, I'm skipping it for you. I'm still going to go on break, but I'm going to make sure that Drasko and Emily stay here to continue the show.
Good.
Does anyone in chat want a drink?
Taking orders, Hugo?
Jane Shepard, Chimumu, you want a drink? Taking orders. All right, yeah, you guys keep talking about whatever it is you want to talk about. I'll be right back.
Well, no, like I think Hugo, he had a good point about, what is it? There are a lot of shows. There's a lot of competition on what you want to see. And to have that audience retention for that show, it is important.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where they do need to update the material. They can't. Have you tried to read? For anyone who's tried to read Lord of the Rings, for example,
it's so fucking dry and slow.
I've been reading it for 6 years at least, and I'm still like.
He's still on Fellowship.
Yeah, I'm still on Fellowship. To my credit, I finished The Hobbit. That was good.
Yeah,
that was actually, I think, an easier read too. But anyway,
it was.
Like, it's it's not with the times. People have things to do. They can't spend an hour reading about like the description of like
Hobbits.
how hobbits are and how unique they are and the beefs they have with other
Hobbits.
and like how long they live and why they live so long and how they like to get at each other and like
And the types of weed that they
So
smoke
much.
and
Like,
different pipes.
yeah, exactly. It's too much. I get that it's like it's texture to the world and it's building that dexterity. And I appreciate that, but like I have things to do now. You know, like I think back in the day, that's all you had after work. It was reading and like making children. Like there was not much else to do.
Or reading this to your children.
Yeah.
You can knock out two things at once.
If you were lucky enough to be able to do that, chances are you were at war. You know, so you couldn't even do either of those. You might be able to still have a book, and that'll send you away from it. Anyway, that's that's why I don't mind that they updated it and are trying to compete and keep up because they know already they have kind of a losing battle against Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Because they have been written by a more modern author, and have all the adult things that like make a show good. Especially today, everything, all the dark stuff does really well. And everything's getting like a dark version of it, right?
Yeah.
Like Dark Knight. But you know what I mean. All the, like Spider-Man had like a dark and moody Spider-Man. Batman has now had like 3
Dark and moody.
When's the comedy coming back? When's the campy Batman coming back?
Sorry, Adam West put up that a long time ago.
But it's got to come back. I feel like it'll come back.
I don't know, man.
But it won't be probably even in our lifetime.
I think the only comedy you can find in like these kinds of shows is you got to have a few moments of your characters being funny, like in the Marvel movies. You just got to have like that interaction from one character to another, and that's where you get your comedy. But all along, like it still needs to be like heavy themes. It's got to be villains with big goals, big motivations. They got to fucking want to kill everybody, and that's how you keep. That's how you keep your retention up. Big stakes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, you guys keep talking. I have to go to the the bubble tea store on the stockyards. Yeah, I have to go get a bubble tea for Chimumu.
Oh, okay. We're taking orders now.
Yeah. What do you guys want? I'm not going to stockyards for you. Just the kitchen.
I'm fine with whatever you can bring.
Is that okay? The last one?
Just a water would be good for now, man.
Okay.
Yeah, just a water's fine.
So carbonated water?
Yeah, carbonated water's fine.
Okay. Emily?
You just something with gin.
Something with gin. Do you want gin in your water?
No. Just regular water is fine. Thanks.
All right. You guys keep talking.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Okay. And there he goes. All right. And now this is the Emily and Drasko show. Welcome.
Drasko with all his friends.
Now they're all sitting here. And we're all gonna discuss things.
What's up, Drasko?
Not much.
Drasko's trying to read books.
Oh God, yeah. I'm trying to read different things now.
So tell us about the book you didn't finish recently.
Oh God.
Drasko knows I read a lot. This is something that like we're trying to bond over.
Yeah. We've been trying to bond over books. Emily has recommended a book to me called Fourth Wing, and it is
No. To be fair, I never recommended Fourth Wing.
Not to me directly, but you made a recommendation.
Okay, but that's
it.
like on my Instagram where it's mostly women that read smut.
I didn't know it was smut at the time.
Not intended for you to pick it up and read it.
Well, I didn't know it was smut at the time. I thought it was a fantasy novel about drag. I thought it was going to be Harry Potter with dragons. That's the way that it seemed to me, especially when I read like a quick synopsis on it, or just like a quick description of it before I picked up the book. It was like, oh, this girl, she's accepted into this very hard and tough war academy, and there she will learn how to fight for her life, and there'll be dragons, and there'll be intrigue, and there'll be plots within plots. And I'm like, oh, okay, this sounds pretty cool. And it's like, yeah, I thought Harry Potter with dragons, why not? I pick it up, and then it's just bad writing. I'm sorry, author of Rebecca
Yaros.
Yaros. Thank you. I'm sorry, I do not like your writing.
You are not the intended audience for that.
I didn't know
It's
that
like-
until like I started reading it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is actually getting a bit like more sex than I thought it would be. Like, it's explicitly to the point where they're like, if you can have sex, if you can fuck today because you'll be dead tomorrow. And then it's just like, yeah, people like fucking students die. And then they're like, oh yeah, we fucked yesterday. It's fine. And it's like, God damn. It just took me off guard. But it wasn't that why I put it down. I just put it down because I couldn't get into the character dialogue. I just couldn't get into the way that they were just speaking and like... how old were these characters? They were like 16, 15, 16, something like that?
No, they're in their early 20s. I mean, you couldn't write a book about 16-year-olds and have that much sex in it. Like, you would never get published.
I didn't get to the hardcore sex stuff just yet.
I know, you quit right before it, like, actually kind of gets good. But I agree, the dialogue is, like, not... It's not realistic. It sounds very young. It sounds like someone who's writing about what they think the kids these days sound like when they're having conversations, which is like, it's cringe.
Yeah.
Really, it is pretty cringy. I think like the world building and the premise and like there are some twists and turns at the end that I thought were genuinely pretty creative.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, honestly, I've heard from several people like they couldn't get into that book because of the dialogue, which is a shame because like. You could work on that and get better if you're good at the rest of it, right?
Yeah. Like I did want to stay and find out more about the world. I wanted to find out how this, Ysgiliath War College. Like it sounds very cool. It was just like, it sounds interesting. It's like, okay, there is this government and they're very authoritarian and they bring kids in from all over and you gotta basically fight for your life. And they've got like a 10% graduation rate because guess what? You're gonna fucking die. And like all the other students are out to fucking kill you. And that's perfectly fine because they believe in like weeding out the weak through just attrition. And that sounds something, okay, I want to get into this. This sounds interesting. It's like a little bit like Hunger Games. So I wanted to stick around. I wanted to see it. But then characters are just so cringy to listen to talk to. And I'm like, every time I have to hear her say, oh, fuck my life. And, well, this sucks. I'm like, oh, fuck off.
That really takes me out of a fantasy book when they have, like, modern dialogue in it. And it's just like, oh, why are you pretending that you're in, like, this decade when you're in, some sort of medieval fantasy Viking environment? Like, it makes no sense.
That to me just, like, took me out of it. So I couldn't get back into it. Like Emily said, it's my DNF. Did not finish. So chalk one of those up for me. But I mean, doing that, I actually tried to pick up another fantasy book. I think it was called Daughter of No Worlds.
Oh, I've heard that's good.
Yeah, that one is actually, I'm a little bit more interested in it. Just because the main character, she's a bit more fleshed out as a character, where she has this like very rough past and very rough childhood, and she kind of like now she's trying to make something of herself, and it goes a little bit slower. Like there's an interaction between her and this guy who's trying to teach her magic, and they spend a lot of time between the two of them, and they kind of like grow with each other, if that makes sense. They both kind of like have things that they don't like about each other, but then the time that they spend together, they bond a bit more as teacher and student, and they become like overall better fleshed out characters out of it. So that was something that I was reading, and I was like, a little bit more into it. Then my loan from the library expired, so I had to give it back.
So he's come to the library of Emily.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just to see what she's got perusing on her shelves.
I think you're going to like this new one. It's not fantasy, but it's a fantastic story.
Like, I have gone through a couple of other books that aren't fantasy, but like I was trying to say, thank you. What I was trying to say is that at least reading these books, it's kind of made me realize that maybe these kinds of like fantasy genres aren't really something for me, because it's a little bit hard for me to like get fully absorbed in the world with it. I like something to be I like my fictional worlds to be a bit more like grounded in realism. I I guess when there's too much magic and there's too much fantasy, it's like it feels like almost anything can happen. So I don't know. It's just hard for me to get into it. Although I do like science fiction, which is fantasy in and of itself. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of complex.
We've got Jane Shepherd in the chat who is just hammering home Harry Potter. And I just want to say, yes, it is just like the ultimate fantasy world building, incredible series that like there ever will be. I mean, in that genre.
So my partner Grace is listening to an audiobook of Harry Potter, and I'm listening with her when she ever plays it. And yeah, like they are doing some pretty good world building. Like so far, it's just following the first book, like the first movie, pretty closely.
Have you not read the books?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god!
I've never read the Harry Potter books. I've only watched the movies.
Oh my god!
I'm sure that there's a lot more details. I just learned yesterday that, like, you know, in the game of Quidditch, it doesn't stop until someone catches the golden fucking finch. I thought
it's not a finch.
Whatever, it's the snitch. Whatever, the little gold ball. It's fine, okay. The golden bird. I learned that that's when the game ends. I thought that it ended like when you hit a certain amount of points. I didn't realize that like you actually had to catch the goddamn thing to win the game. So that's one thing that I learned from the books that I didn't know about the movies.
Are you guys listening to the Stephen Fry audiobooks?
I don't know. Is the Stephen Fry one recent or is it like older? Grace, if you could,
Grace, if you could
come down and let us know.
So the Stephen Fry one is like the British original reading of it, I think, and he's like an incredible voice actor. He has like 50 unique voices that are true to every character throughout all 7 books. It's crazy. Grace says no.
No, unfortunate.
But did you pass this question along to Drasko? Did you prefer the Mice and Badgers one? Did you do that? Yeah.
The Mice and Badgers. Oh, she's talking.
Hares eating pie scones.
Oh yeah, she's talking about Redwall. Redwall is actually another series that I read. This one actually, when I was younger in high school, I picked up one of them, and it was very good too. I think it was Salamandestron. But yeah, that one was very good. That one was like a little bit more like not child-friendly fantasy. Like it was child-friendly. It was written for kids, but it had a bit more like kind of like a fun take. It's like instead of people, they're animals. So like all the good guys are rabbits and mice and hares and badgers, and all the bad guys are like weasels and foxes and shoats and skunks and things. But yeah, it was also very good. It was like very like friendly, cute, fuzzy characters, but then there was also like scenes of war where they're just like cutting each other's throats out and like clawing each other's eyes out. So it does have its own kind of like vicious thing to it. But,
we do have a Quidditch clarification before we move on from this topic entirely.
What, is it not a finch?
No, it's definitely not a finch.
Well, that's good to know.
But the game, you don't win automatically if you catch the snitch.
You just get like 150 points.
You get 110 points, I think, but the game automatically ends.
Okay.
But you depending on where you're at in the score, if the 110 points makes you win.
Yeah. Well, so
is
there a max score that you need to get? That's what I'm wondering.
It's not a max score, it's just a higher score. Like any other sport. Drasko.
So to end the game, you got to get the finch. But
snitch.
Whatever.
You know, this is the problem, Drasko. When I was over there, you know, slaving away making drinks.
Thank you,
Hugo.
Thank you for the drink, Hugo.
Oh, no worries. I wasn't looking for a thank you. I was just.
Well, you're getting one. Accept it, motherfucker.
Maybe I was. I heard that you once again quit before it got good.
He did.
And what?
Is this what you do?
I didn't quit before it got good. I had to give the book back.
You did not have to give it back.
No. He's Drasko. He's talking about the Fourth Wing book.
Oh. Well, we already talked about that.
I'm not saying we have to talk about it again.
We're just saying it's a theme
it's the fact that you keep quitting before it gets good, Drasko. Is this what you do? Is this your sick idea of enjoying yourself? Is this what you do? Do other people enjoy this?
Look, I have a problem with commitment, Hugo. You should know that with our friendship. I haven't committed to it.
It's only been 20 years.
It's only been 20 years. When is he going to fucking commit to this friendship that we have?
You dirty bastard.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I have a problem with commit. I mean, it's not the first time. There are other shows and books that I have started, and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. And there have been video games too, and I'm just like, I start getting into something, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out of here. It happens.
You're very aware of your time. You don't want to waste your time.
I mean, if
you just want to move on to the next thing. But you'll play Diablo 2 for 2 decades. That's okay.
Longer than that, actually. And it's on again, off again, all right? It's not like I just continuously play something. And I come back to things as well, Hugo.
Nostalgia is a thing.
It's a thing. Sometimes I just crave certain things, you know? Like, I don't know. Maybe in a few months I'll be like, you know what? I do want to see what happens at the end of Rings of Power. So maybe I'll come back, and then after 45 minutes I'll be like, what just happened? I don't care, you know? What's going on my phone? And then I'll come back to it in another year and a half. It'll still be there. They're not going to remove it. No. It's an Amazon Prime original. They're not going to get rid of the copyright for it.
That's true. It'll still be there.
Yeah, exactly.
But will you?
Probably not. my subscription. I don't even have enough subscription.
You'll be quitting something else.
I'll be too busy quitting something else to quit this thing again.
You told me not to be a quitter, but I'm not one to just follow the orders of other people.
Sorry, Hugo.
I'm not a follower.
I lead. I don't follow.
So I quit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's I respect that. I respect you quitting.
Thanks, man.
You don't love. That's fine.
I
stick through. I stick to the end.
Really?
Even when it's not good.
Even if you don't enjoy something?
Yeah.
Is it like media or is it anything?
Anything.
Really?
You know, there's a sense of like I've invested time into it,
mm-hmm.
and I'm going to see it to the end to pay it off until it pays off. And when it doesn't pay off, I call you.
I mean, do you feel like fulfilled at these things?
Oh, you meant at those things specifically.
I mean, when you come to the end of something, something that you don't enjoy, do you get a sense of fulfillment in the sense of like what like the author or the director wanted you to feel, or do you get a sense of fulfillment of like, okay, I finished it, and then you just stop thinking about it and move on to something else?
Well, it's that I feel like, okay, by making it to the end, even if I didn't like it, I can properly criticize it because I saw the whole thing.
Okay, that's fair. That's
fair.
Fair.
Like if you're gonna fully have an opinion about something, you need to get the whole story that the artist who created it intended for you to take in. Like, I can't tell you how many books I've kind of been lukewarm towards, and then the last 100 pages are like fire. They're amazing.
Okay.
Because you're like kind of kept waiting for information until like the proper time. And that like timing is part of storytelling, right?
No, that's fair. That's understandable.
We're still on the verge of losing Jane Shepherd because of you.
Oh, really?
She's just threatening to unsub.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I think they are talking about Amazon.
Oh, okay.
No. That's fine.
They subbed, and in 1 hour, I managed to lose a subscriber.
You better start talking some sense, boy, when I'm unsubbing.
I'm bad for this show, Hugo.
That makes more sense.
No, okay. So, but Emily, I gotta respect that opinion as well. Like, yeah, you should be able to like criticize something fully once you've seen the whole thing from beginning to end. And it's like, yeah, books, TV shows, movies, video games, anything.
Do you really like prefacing every conversation with, but I didn't watch the whole thing?
Maybe
I didn't finish the book, but
okay. After this conversation, I'm just gonna pretend like I did, and then you'll have to respect my opinion, no matter how ass backwards it is.
Until they call you out. What if they start talking about?
I can make.
You're like, no, I don't remember that.
Exactly. Oh, sorry, I was really drunk at the time. No. But it was an important scene. This dude. No, sorry, I was blacked out. Sorry, can't go back and watch it.
No more spoilers, though.
No more spoilers. But no, what was I going to say? I was going to say I just don't like the idea of having to commit X amount of hours into something until it gets good to that point.
I kind of get that.
That to me, I just never found appealing, especially when it's like you only have so much time in your day to do things, especially at the end of a day if you're working, if you come home, if you got responsibilities, and then you only have like what, an hour, 2 hours to yourself. Do you really want it to spend like, okay, I need to commit 8 hours of lukewarm to get to an hour and a half of hot fire?
You're just so hard to please.
Well,
what's fire to other people is not fire to you. It's coals.
I'm not burning anybody for liking these things.
Emily read a book. Wrote a book.
She wrote the book and then she read it and then she quit halfway through.
But
for 1,000 pages before it got good. That would take me like at least 100 years.
But would you get the same amount of enjoyment out of it at that point?
I don't know. I can't speak on those kinds of books.
Well, then I guess you've got 3 different kinds of opinions here. You got someone who will quit something 10% of the way through if it doesn't catch them. You got somebody who's going to commit to it 100% of the way. And then you got somebody who will also commit 100% of the way, but over the course of a decade.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think... Sorry.
We got all our opinions covered here. No, go on.
Yeah, I think that like there's immediate gratification with like a book or a show or something. There's something that just like wows you and holds you captive the whole time. And then there's content that either like maybe, there's content that's not good, obviously out there. But then I think there's that sweet spot with like something that maybe doesn't blow your mind constantly or right from the beginning, but sometimes that's the stuff that you like learn the most from and sticks with you after. You know, I just feel like if you give up 10% of the way through, for sure if it's like really bad, obviously. But I think that you can learn a lot from something that is a bit more like it takes more time to pull you into it, you know?
No, that's fair. That's fair. There have been books as well that I have read that are very boring and dry at the beginning, but then you get to the halfway point when, you know, plot points that they have hinted at the beginning, they do start to pay off and pick up, and that's where things get interesting. But I guess I just couldn't stick through with Fourth Wing on it. And
I get that one.
I couldn't stick through with Lord of the Rings on it. Yeah, and that's just something I'm going to have to live with. I'm going to have these big DNFs hanging over me, and just going to have to somehow hope that I can move on with my life with that.
Wow.
You won't.
I'll live my life in regrets perpetually.
At the end, everyone's going to have great memories of all the great things they did.
All these great people are going to get together talking about fucking Fourth Wing, and I'm just going to be sitting there in the corner. Everybody now knows I couldn't fucking finish it. They're not going to give me the time of day.
Couldn't. We're going to know you couldn't.
It's not that I
didn't want to.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. Couldn't commit to it.
I mean, again, like that story's not for you. It's not written for you. It's written for
Drasko
like...
doesn't like to be teased like that. If it's going to talk about, you know, very highly or acutely sexualized things, he needs to see it. You know, even porn doesn't cut it anymore. He needs to go and find those exhibitionists.
I guess I'm waiting for the Fourth Wing movie to come out.
Yeah, the movie's going to do it for you, man. You're gonna love it.
Emily, who would you pick as your director for the Fourth Wing movie?
And leads.
You guys know I can't remember any director names for anything. I'm going to say Christopher Nolan. Just hot and heavy. 70 mil film.
Yeah.
IMAX.
That's cheap.
I don't know any director names for anything. That's not for me. That's just not.
Okay,
oh,
what about
Peter
leads?
Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
The
Here we
same
go.
director that did Lovely Bones.
Thanks, Jane Shepherd.
We're bringing you back, Pete. I know you're out of the fantasy game, but you're gonna love this one.
Did you guys see Lovely Bones?
I don't know what Lovely Bones is.
It's actually really good. I
Is
was
it a movie by
saying
Peter
it like it was
Jackson?
bad, but it was actually really good. I liked it.
Is it by Peter Jackson?
He directed it, yeah.
Oh.
I think actually that was the one he did right after Lord of the Rings, and then he did King Kong. But it could be the other way around. But anyway, yeah, okay, so Peter Jackson to direct it. Peter Jackson was always my favorite director because I grew up loving Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. I remember in film school feeling inadequate because I didn't know all these fancy directors like
Coppola
or Stanley Kubrick. Mm-hmm. Like I was just sort of hearing about them in film school. I was like, I like Peter Jackson. Because he did Lord of the Rings. You guys know the movie. It just came out a few years ago. Everyone else had movies from like the 70s and 80s that they really like. I was like, damn, I'm not a film buff at all. I don't know anything.
Everyone's got their top 10 IMDb list movies.
Yeah. I was, anyway.
Joke's on them. Fucking Peter Jackson won all those Oscars.
I know. At the end with the third one, he swept the floor with everyone. I actually want to know what other movies they were up against now. When Return of the King came out. They didn't, those other two movies didn't win anything.
Yeah.
They were always nominated, but they didn't win. And it was like, what the hell, man? What do you guys have against Lord of the Rings? And then when the third one came out, and then the whole Aragorn was like, my friends, you bow to no one. And everybody cried. That's it. All the Oscar noms. Yeah. Not just the noms, the awards. But anyway, yeah, I have a soft spot for Peter Jackson because, you know, he was there with me in my childhood. He was there with me at the end of it all.
He was
a
the Sam to your Frodo.
He was the Sam.
Fucking carried me up that hill, man.
Carried me up that hill. And then at the end, he was like, no, Hugo, I'm not throwing away the DVDs into Mount Doom. I was like, you got to. And I had to, like, you know, I stepped in. I saved the day, kind of. Wait, no, he was Sam. It was the other way around.
Get your fucking preferences.
I didn't want to.
I can't throw these DVDs in. They got the special edition, 3 hours long, Peter. No. You gotta do it for the Blu-rays.
You want the Blu-rays, you gotta this is gonna be, you can't have these sitting around. I still do. I have all of them sitting around. But anyway, yeah, Lovely Bones was creepy as shit. In a weird way. In a creepy, like...
in a creepy, weird kind of way.
Guy.
What?
Yeah.
What?
It's like, you know, I'm trying not to spoil it, but it's about this guy who stalks this little girl, this like old man, who looks like Ned Flanders kind of. and you know, and Mark Wahlberg's her dad. Probably Mark Wahlberg's greatest role, actually. From that role, he played all those other dad roles. Anyway, it's hard to speak. Not try not to spoil it.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's really hard.
It's hard, isn't it?
I don't know how far I can take the details. Other than to say, yeah,
a thing happens and it's pretty cool.
You should watch it.
Wow, you really sold me on that one.
Did I not? Did I not sell you on the Lovely Bones?
I mean, I'll probably see it one day scrolling through something to watch. I'll be like, oh, this is the thing that Hugo told me to watch.
It's been banned in 72 countries.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of the pedophilia thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you should go watch it.
Should get CSIS knocking down my door. Hugo sent me.
It hasn't been banned.
Oh, that's good.
I was just thinking that's a way to get you to go see it.
Grace says you're going to watch it this weekend.
See, we're watching it this weekend.
God damn it.
Enjoy. Ned Flanders is in it. Mark Wahlberg.
Well, Hedley Hadley.
And I don't think that little girl ever did anything else after that. So maybe she, you know, I don't know.
Maybe it's
no.
shame.
Try not to spoil.
No, don't. Yeah.
No. Okay, so Peter Jackson directed. Who's going to be the two leads?
Of Fourth Wing?
Who's playing? Okay, let's get to the main meat of this conversation. Who's playing Shadow Daddy?
Oh, that's a good
Well, that's
question.
going to be one of the leads,
It's a
right?
really good
Yeah, who's playing Shadow Daddy, Emily?
Come on, you know actors.
I don't know.
Just a few of them.
Come on, and if you can just go for the cheat and just say
You don't
Can
have to.
I describe? Oh, Henry Cavill. Yeah, I feel like that's a good suggestion.
Henry
James Shepard.
Cavill? Wow.
Is it Cable or Cavill?
Cavill. Like, how many
Cavill.
ways are there to say this man's last
Cavill.
name?
Wait,
The Superman guy.
Yeah,
he would be.
Superman.
He would actually be excellent. Like it's supposed to be kind of a dark-haired, obviously like chiseled, gorgeous,
gorgeous guy.
but like dark and brooding kind of lead, and I feel like he'd do that really well.
He would, yeah. He's awesome.
Like who else fits that description? Drasko, if you had to pick your favorite Shadow Daddy type character,
Ryan.
and for those who are not familiar, Shadow Daddies are kind of like a romanticy term for an anti-hero style hero who usually emanates shadows and is dreadfully sexy and usually dreadfully.
So sexy it hurts.
Dreadfully sexy.
So both of you, who fits that description for you guys?
I don't know if
I got a name.
you got a name.
I got a name.
Okay,
I'm ready to go.
I don't know if my guy, because I was thinking like Tom Hardy
No.
or
Not dark enough.
Okay, not dark enough. All right, so I don't know if he would do like the Shadow Daddy thing, but what about
Cillian Murphy could be.
No,
Cillian
he's too
Murphy?
old, and you need. I don't know. They need to kind of have black hair. Like it can't be too light.
What about Jake
doesn't have a lot of
Gyllenhaal?
hair.
He's pale, but like,
No.
but his hair is dark.
Not Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, he's too old too. Like it's gotta be.
What? Jake Gyllenhaal?
How old is Henry Cavill?
I don't know, but he could pull it off.
Pretty sure it's called.
You know, they're doing amazing things with CG these days. You should see Tom Cruise.
Joseph. Who's Joseph? Yeah. Wait. Oh, yeah. He's too old too.
Who, Joseph
That's
Fiennes?
Voldemort.
Ray Fiennes?
No,
Oh,
Joseph.
let me look.
Isn't that
Let me look it
Voldemort?
up. I
Joseph
don't know.
Fiennes.
I'm pretty
Fiennes?
sure it's Ray Fiennes.
I'm gonna look it up.
Anyway, I would go with Ryan Gosling.
No, he's not a shadow daddy.
No,
he
he's
is.
too cute to be a shadow
He's the
daddy.
hero. He's not an
Yeah, he's the
anti-hero.
face. He's the face, not the heel.
Yeah.
Oh, so the Shadow Daddies aren't the heroes?
No, they're like
they
your-
can be, but they start off very like dark and brooding. If he was
That is Voldemort.
Joseph Fiennes,
That's not.
that's not Voldemort.
Yes, that is. Look at him.
That's not Voldemort. Ray
No,
Fiennes.
no, you're right. It's not Voldemort.
Yeah, it's his brother.
Ralph is
there.
is-
That's fucking Voldemort.
Right. Okay. He is too old.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know he had a much younger.
I'm sorry.
brother.
It's Voldemort. All right. It's not Voldemort. It's Voldemort.
Where'd you learn this crap from?
From the lady herself. What's her name? The author.
Oh, J.R.R.
There's your shadow daddy.
This is the character.
These are your shadow
This
daddy.
is the
wow,
character.
he looks way more handsome than what I had in my head. In my head, he was built like a fucking brick shithouse.
Something like this.
This man was
This is
deep.
what we're going
Yeah,
for here.
we're looking. Oh, okay. The motherfucker who played.
Never
Goddamn.
watched Handsmaid.
Okay, hold on. Can you pull up the cast of The Mummy, please?
The whole gorgeous cast.
Who is it? Not the main.
Brendan
Okay,
Fraser?
there. That the one next to Tom Cruise. The
Rock.
The poster. Yes, that guy. No, not him. Not The Rock. Over to the right. Him. That guy. That dude. What's his fucking name? God damn it.
He's definitely kind of a shadow daddy.
Yeah,
type.
he's got that like him. That guy.
Yeah, this guy.
Are there shadow mummies?
Him. Shadow mommies?
Yeah.
They're like dom mommies. That's more of like the idea. Shadow mommy. Oh no! Not the Sonic fan arts. Oh no!
Yes, zoom in on that.
Not
Zoom in
Shadow's
on this.
mommy. Oh no.
Oh
This
no.
just took a bad turn.
Oops. Sorry.
I think the term is like dom mommy.
We're not gonna search that.
No, because we're gonna get
No.
some like
That
18 plus recommendations,
Yeah.
and
We
we
gotta
need this
keep
to
it
be
PG.
all. We need to keep this PG, motherfucker.
mostly PG. Who's Oded Fur? I think is his name. Brought in by
Chow Mew Mew?
Chow Mew Mew.
Yeah.
Shadow Mummy, huh, Drasko? Says Gene Shepard. Is that what you need to make it good? A good shadow mummy? Maybe even the Sonic one?
I can't fucking win today.
I feel like this
just-
guy could do it.
I'm just getting attacked on all.
What about the Dune Kid? What's his name?
No,
Timothy
he's
Chalamet?
way.
Oh,
this,
no, he's.
whoever this guy is.
Oh yeah.
He's
we,
a
need,
yes.
we need names, you know? Like, we're talking names here. Nobody, these are just random Google guys.
I'm pretty sure that was just an AI generated man.
He's not a real man.
No. Oh, hold on, Michael Yeager.
Michael Yerger.
This
Yeah.
one's Brazilian for sure.
Yeah.
With that
These
last name.
guys. Yeah.
All right, so
could
either
do it.
like...
Oh, like a young Johnny Depp.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, yes.
Edward
That would
Scissorhands
work.
is the original Shadow Daddy, isn't he?
He's, he's like your shadow weird sibling.
He's already Wonka. Yeah, Chalamet is already Wonka.
Chalamet he's spoiled.
He's done. He's doing too much. He's gonna be Bob Dylan too in the Dylan.
I could
movie
see
that's
it.
coming out soon.
I could see him as a Bob Dylan.
Yeah, he looks the part for sure.
Yeah.
I think he can do it. I'm not shitting on Chalamet.
No, Like
I like the kid.
I mean, he's definitely got like the modern look. I
The
see so
modern
many fucking teenagers who look like fucking Timothy Chalamet.
Hey, at least he doesn't have a broccoli haircut. At least in Dune he doesn't, but then again, it's probably not his real hair.
No.
Maybe.
I think it is. I think that
Maybe it
is
was.
like his hair. Actually, I just saw him in fucking Interstellar, and I couldn't believe it was him.
He's in Interstellar?
Yeah.
Is he the little kid?
Yeah, he's the
The one that's younger than the sister?
He's the son of Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, because he's got a son and a little
And
girl.
a little girl, yeah, he's the
and
son.
he's even younger. I mean, that makes sense timeline-wise. Interstellar's been out for a while.
Yeah,
But-
2016, I think. Yeah, but that was him. That was him. He doesn't look anything like himself now.
I was gonna say, Grace says, "Who told you that?"
I figured it out on my own. I knew all along.
I got a...
No, Grace is great at picking out actors. Like the only reason I know who fucking Henry Cavill is because of her, and who fucking Jake Gyllenhaal is, and all his like weirdness and
Jarhead?
yeah, I didn't know it was him.
Are you
I
serious?
didn't know it was him. It's
Man.
she's good at picking that shit out. Like she knows these fucking actors. Like bam, she's like, oh, that's that guy. Yeah, he was in this, and he was married to her. I'm like, fuck. How do you keep track of all these people in your heads?
It's a skill, man. Like I can't remember actor names, directors, producers, like none of it. Like I'm lucky if I can remember the title of the movie.
Yeah, I'm not great with it either.
Yeah. If it's not Peter Jackson, I don't want to fucking hear about it.
Yeah. I got a few that I know, and that's it.
I got the one that I know.
Peter Jackson.
That's all I need.
I know Peter Jackson. I got through film school with it. That means I can get through life with it.
Yep.
You know, they're just celebs. They're just people.
They're
They don't know my name.
Yeah. Why should I bother to learn theirs?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Okay, but back to Shadow Daddies. The like real ones. I still think actually that Ryan Gosling could be. Have you guys seen Drive? He was pretty much a Shadow Daddy in that.
Hey, I
Although he was also
want
the
to
hero.
watch Drive.
You haven't seen
I know you've seen
anything.
I've seen it. I'm trying to get someone else who shall remain nameless to watch it with me.
Yeah, no, Drive is great. Have you seen Drive?
Drive.
Family?
Drive's-
No, I haven't seen Drive.
It's good, but it's not Shadow Daddy energy. That's not.
No, it's
like,
not a romantasy.
No, that's not what a Shadow Daddy is. Like Gosling in that movie isn't very brooding. There are like scenes. There are
That
scenes.
is as brooding as it gets.
Okay, and he's also very warm and.
What
like,
do you want? You want Ryan Gosling? Or not Ryan Gosling. Ryan, that other Canadian.
Ryan Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Reynolds is too funny.
Yeah, he's too funny.
I can't see
He's
him.
a clown.
I can't see him in anything but like a humorous like face role.
He can't do anything but funny.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he can, but at least I haven't seen him.
I'm
do it.
sure he can.
I don't think he wants to do anything but funny.
He's
he
just so good at his
enjoys it.
humor.
Yeah, that's fine. He can do his own thing. But no, Gosling can't do like Shadow Daddy. He doesn't have that.
He's too.
What about Blade Runner? He was pretty serious in that,
He
and he had a
he
love,
was more of like
a love affliction.
He was more of like a detective in that, like maybe like more of like a hard-boiled detective. But that's not like the Shadow Daddy energy.
I guess I
either.
got to read Fourth Wing to know what the Shadow Daddy business is about.
It's just like he stands over her, looking down. Oh, he looks like he could split me in half.
Oh my god!
That's literally a line in the fucking
Are you
in
writing
the book.
these books secretly? He looks like he could split me.
That's a line in the book. I'm dead fucking serious.
Drasko.
Yeah.
It's getting hot in here.
Oh god.
But it is like it's definitely it's a
point.
character that's like a
Yeah.
little bit murderous.
Okay. I think maybe like Jason Statham. Like maybe if
Who's
he
that?
what Jason Statham? He was in Hobbs and Shaw, Fast and Furious. I don't know if you saw those. No. I think he can do it, but like a younger version of him. He can be like Shadow Daddy's dad.
What's this?
No, no.
He's got like a bit more of like like that face. He's got a bit more of like the.
No,
looks
he's
like
just
he can-
brutish though. He's just strong and bold, but not broody.
So he's not like cute enough to be Shadow Daddy material.
He's just too bulky, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, what's this reference here? I'm not getting this. Cells within cells interlinked.
That's from Blade Runner.
Oh.
It's like part of Ryan Gosling's debriefing. It's like there's a scene where like it's just like they're speaking nonsense and he's just like going on and on about it because spoilers, he's a fucking replicant.
What?
You find out in
What
like
did you just do?
15 minutes into the movie you find out it's a main point that he is a replicant.
Drasko. We're losing. We're going into the negative followers.
For God's sake.
Actually, I've seen the movie and I can't remember that.
Yeah.
That's another one I got to rewatch. I honestly...
I love Blade
Didn't
Runner.
we talk about doing this? Yeah, we were
Blade
going to do
Runner?
in the previous episode.
Oh yeah, we were going to
do a Ryan Gosling film festival.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah, we were.
And like watch a bunch of Gosling
Ryan
movies,
Gosling
and
movies.
then talk about them. And actually, Drive and Blade Runner are two of the ones I definitely want to see.
I want to see Barbie.
Yeah, that's right. You need to see
I want
Barbie.
to see Barbie.
I
want to feel good about fucking myself in movies. I want to walk out of this feeling good about life. I've had enough like dark brooding shit, all right? I want to feel good and not just, Lord of the Rings, that'll make you feel good.
Watch it then.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, speaking of feeling good with Ryan Gosling, we should
you should call us up, Ryan.
come
we're down
to
feel good.
Imagine one day we had him on here in this tiny studio. It'd be awesome.
You would have left like fucking an hour ago.
No,
man.
he wouldn't. I'd make him a really nice drink and he'd stay. He's a nice Canadian actor. He wouldn't just leave.
Ryan Gosling? Oh yeah, he is Canadian.
Yeah, he was in Breaker High.
Yeah.
So he's too polite to leave.
Yeah, it's not that he wouldn't want to leave, but he's too polite.
Yeah, but he's got people that he hires that like make him just like, okay, sorry, Mr. Gosling has to go. It's not him, it's us. We're making him go.
That's true.
All right, so what about Ryan Gosling? What about feeling good with Ryan
Oh,
Gosling?
there's the new movie we should go watch with him. The Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy?
Fall Guy.
Is that the
He
video
plays
game?
a stunt. No, it's a different
He
thing.
plays a stuntman?
Plays a stuntman.
Wow, that sounds like another movie he's in.
It's another movie he's in. Wait, which other movie?
Drive.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's a
He's a stuntman in that too.
Didn't draw that connection. That's so true. But this one I think is more comedy and like straight up action. Where Drive was marketed as action, but was actually not.
The slowest burn drama in your life.
Yeah.
Also starring Oscar Isaacs,
Yeah.
who played
He could be a shadow daddy.
Duke Leto Atreides, the Shadow Daddy.
La La Land.
That's just a
Yeah.
whole bunch of
La La Land.
crossover.
Actually, I haven't seen that. That's something
I haven't seen it either, but I don't
there's so many
really
Ryan
want to
Gosling
watch it.
Why not?
I don't know. It's got me feeling like they're trying to maybe gloss over the seedy underbelly of Hollywood.
We're doing this now. We didn't do it in the previous episode. We're doing this now. We have to watch at least one Gosling movie before the next episode.
Okay.
So I know you're going to the Philippines in like a week, and the next episode won't be for a couple of weeks. But,
Yeah.
while you're down there, you need to watch
Barbie.
at least Barbie, and I'm gonna watch La La Land.
You hear that, Grace? We're going to have to watch Barbie.
And
I hope Filipino Netflix has it.
of course they will. They have everything. I don't know. I honestly want to watch a lot of them. I want to watch Blade Runner again. I'd want to watch La La Land. I'd even watch Notebook again. Drive again.
I keep forgetting he's in that.
He was very young in that.
Oh, yeah. What if we watch like an episode of... he was actually in an episode of Goosebumps.
Like the
Ryan Gosling.
the original.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah,
as a
that's
kid
the only one.
actor.
Wow,
Yeah.
that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Because there were like a lot of the same production companies.
And it was a Canadian produced TV show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was such a good show.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
I'm not rewatching it to find out
Just
if
to
it's
prove
not.
out that it's terrible. It's going to stay good in my head.
Yeah, in my head, it's gonna stay golden and amazing.
Is that why you don't want to rewatch Lord of the Rings?
No, Lord of the Rings I have rewatched. It was in the Return of the King had a 30th year, I think 20th, 25 year. I don't know.
In theaters?
Last year it was in theaters again.
And you rewatched it?
We rewatched it and it was amazing.
It's still good. Still holds up.
still holds up.
Worth the Oscars. All right, but yeah, no. Let's watch a Ryan Gosling movie. Do we have to watch the same movie, or would we have watched a movie and then just kind of like we can compare on how Ryan Gosling acts?
You know what? Wait, you haven't seen
I haven't seen Barbie.
Watch
I haven't
Barbie.
seen La La Land.
You're gonna be away for a
I
few
haven't
weeks.
seen Notebook.
watch we have to do Barbie.
I want to watch
La La
Barbie.
Land.
I want to watch Barbie. All right, La La Land.
Because neither of us have seen La La Land.
Okay.
And Barbie, you just need to watch. And I'll probably just rewatch
Blade Runner.
Because I really want to anyway.
Wow. I'm going on vacation, yet I have more homework to do.
I'm watching
that's
2
fucked up,
movies.
Hugo.
Blade Runner's longer than Barbie.
Oh, yeah. You're watching La La Land. What, really? Blade Runner is longer than Barbie?
I think so.
Also, you have a super long plane ride. You'll be fine. Just download them before you
Yeah,
go.
dude, you can literally get your homework done on the trip there. And then when you land, we'll do the podcast with you from there.
That's true. That's true. Okay. All right. I got one movie to watch on the way there and one movie to watch on the way back.
Yeah, and you still have 6 hours of sleep.
And there's still like a layover. It's a fucking 22-hour. Oops, sorry. It's a fucking 22-hour flight.
Wait, did you say sorry for swearing and then proceeded to swear again?
I said sorry for banging my glasses into the microphone.
Okay.
So everybody whose ears just exploded from that scratching. Sorry about that. Oh.
Fair.
But yeah, it's a 22-hour flight. It's great.
Wait, how long is this layover? And where is it?
Couple hours in Korea, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so not long enough that you can go out into town.
There's debate about whether we can or can't.
I say if you can, try. And you can say you've been to Korea. Now when people talk about the Korean War, you could say you were there too.
I went to the
Just much
28th
later.
parallel. I think it's the 28th parallel.
I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We went to the DMZ.
But it'd be cool, you know? You were just south of where all the stuff is going on. In
Yeah,
the north.
Seoul is fairly close to the North Korean border.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to try getting near it because they'll be like, you're a fucking goddamn traitor. They'll try to shoot you on the spot.
You wouldn't be a traitor.
I mean, if you try to jump the border into North Korea, they'll still probably shoot you.
Did you hear about that kid that stole a poster from a hotel in North Korea?
And they beat the shit out of him.
Well, he was arrested. He was on his way home. He was at the airport, and they arrested him.
Oh, no.
And the people he was with were like, I guess we'll never see you again.
Oh, no!
And it started this huge like court case for something like that simple. Yeah. Like the U.S. tried to extradite him, tried to get him home. They did everything. By the time they sent him home, they had I think they sent like medics and people to go pick him up. And he was in a coma basically. And he arrived, like they awakened him to exit the plane, and he was up and moving, but he ended up dying like the next day.
Jesus Christ.
Messed with him that much. And they said that like it just happened. He had like the North Koreans are trying to say that it just happened, that they didn't do anything wrong. But it's like, come on, he was like 20 something years old.
Yeah.
You know, and he went there healthy. And he spent years in jail there. Finally was extradited, but came in such awful shape that he ended up dying the very next day. So crazy. For stealing a poster from a hotel. He went to a floor that he wasn't supposed to go to. It was it wasn't a floor for tourists, and in that floor there was a bunch of like propaganda posters, you know, to a foreigner they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
And definitely would have been like a cool souvenir. I could get why he tried to take it, but there was cameras and they were able to find out, and they took it as an act against North Korea.
Yeah, probably an act of spying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a totalitarian state. No matter what you do, you're wrong.
Such a shame, man. But I mean,
don't fuck.
You're in North Korea, like if you're going there as a tourist, that's extreme tourism, and you should have been as careful as possible. To even go to that floor, knowing you weren't supposed to go, is a huge risk. Yeah. But, you know, still, no, I'm not saying he's to blame for any of it. Like, I still think it's a tragedy and they're to blame. But at the same time, you got to be like, come on, dude. Like, you're in North Korea as a tourist, dude. Like, you know how many people want to escape North Korea and can't?
You're trying to get in.
Dude, I would never go there unless things completely changed. I mean, I get the appeal of extreme tourism, but I just don't think I'm about it. No. You know, and definitely I'll go to a lot of other places. I'll go to dangerous neighborhoods in like the favelas in Brazil before I go to North Korea, man.
Walking on the wild side here, Hugo.
No, not North Korea wild side though. That's the next level. That's nuclear.
Damn.
Shit's nuclear. I'm not going to no North Korea, dude. South Korea though, you should go.
Yeah. I'll go. Pick up some of those delicious little flavored almonds that they sell over there, and bring back a few of those. That's all I'm willing to bring back.
Yeah, don't bring back
maybe some kind of like freeze dried jerky or something, but that's about it.
I don't like kimchi. Can we just spend the rest of the night talking about how much I don't like kimchi?
I mean,
No.
you pretty much covered everything there is to it.
That's true.
It's pickled cabbage.
Okay, so when you get to Korea, what you're getting these almonds?
I'm getting the almonds. Probably going to get some bibimbap.
What are you going to get me? What are you going to bring back for your good friend, Hugo?
I don't know.
Bibimbap? Bibimbap?
I'll bring you the little towelette that they give you on the Air Korea flight. Here you go, Hugo. You can freshen up in between recording sessions.
That's bullshit.
I don't know, man. What you're asking me what I'm gonna bring you? How about I bring you a Korean?
No, I'm not asking you. Don't ruin the surprise.
I'll bring you something Korean. There.
Come closer.
Come closer.
That's good.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I hope you have a really good flight
Thanks, man.
and watch a good movie. I
Yeah.
hope you do watch La La Land.
I will. Actually, I actually haven't thought about just downloading a movie to watch on my phone while I'm there. I always think that I'm at the mercy of whatever in-flight terrible movies that they have at the time. So,
No, with certain services these days, you can do it ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly.
You
So
have the technology.
I'll just download something fun to watch, and I'll watch it, and that'll be that. What an age we live in.
We live in
Grace
a
is
crazy
calling you
age.
a noob.
Well, we're at an hour and a half.
All right.
I think this is about where we call it.
All right, that's great.
I hope you enjoy the Philippines.
Man, thanks.
Take
Hugo.
lots of pictures, send them our way, and then be ready to roll when you get back.
Grace, did you hear that? Take lots of pictures and send them Hugo's way.
Yes. As long as I get the pictures, I'm happy.
Okay, good.
And then, yeah, that's it.
Thanks for tuning in to our first live broadcast of the Huge Podcast.
Yeah.
We're
Wasn't that fun?
It was fun.
We had some real conversations with people that were watching us.
Thanks,
That's awesome.
Thanks for burning and salting me, everyone. Thank you, Jane Shepard.
Gene Shepard, really appreciate you being here and joining the chat.
Yeah.
Again, that is huge for us. Engagement in the chat means everything, and it just makes the show so much fun to do. It literally wouldn't be the same if people weren't chatting. So for those that tuned in, followed, and chatted, a huge round of applause to you. And we hope you'll be back on the next one.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we'll have to take a break because Drasko's going on his big, massive vacation. I think what we'll do is we'll do a rerun of previous episodes that aren't yet on YouTube to tide you over until we can do another live episode.
Yep.
We're live, baby. This was always the dream.
Live and in charge.
Do these podcasts live.
And we're finally doing it. Fucking right.
Finally doing it. Anyway, Emily, any parting words?
No, it's been great. This has been really good. Thanks for watching the Huge Podcast, where the size of your happiness matters more than the size of your problems.
Hey.
Yeah. And Emily, you did a great job with the newfangled technology and all the switching, and you were still able to talk and do everything that you need to do. So congrats. You did an awesome job. I appreciate you.
It was not easy doing all the switching.
No?
And I apologize in the chat. Every once in a while I'd like hit the caps lock and be screaming at people. We're learning here. It's fine. It was
It's
a lot
to
of
do
fun.
for sure. Like it's definitely a lot more than you had to do before.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a delayed live view, and it looks good. I just hope it sounds good, But I think for as far as our first live episode, I think it's gone over well, and we were super fortunate to have people join in on the conversation. Because that I think is what's going to set us apart, and is what's going to make this podcast so much more fun. Is that it's a podcast with a live community tuning in, watching, but also talking and submitting ideas and things for us to talk about. I think that's awesome. I'm super excited to be a part of that.
Yeah, man. It's great. It's part of a living, breathing community.
That's right.
Fantastic.
All right, Drasko, go catch your flight.
Yeah, I got to get out of here. It's
Get
leaving in
outta
like
here.
15 minutes.
We'll see everybody soon. Thanks
All right.
again. We love you.
Take care.
Bye for now. Send us away, Emily.